Hi, Phyllis here from southernfrugal.com. We're getting ready to make some southern biscuits, and I'm going to use lard, okay? I usually use Crisco, but every once in a while I like to use lard because it really makes much better biscuits. So let me show you the ingredients. First of all, the lard. Now you can get this, let me turn it around so you can see it better there. You can get lard in Walmart, and you need to look where they have the Crisco and the oils and everything, and look down on the very bottom shelf, and that's where you'll find the lard. Okay, also, let me turn this around. You'll need some white lily flour, and make sure you get self-rising. We're going to start out with 2 cups of whole buttermilk. And in my sifter, it holds 4 cups, so it's really heaped up there, so I'd say that's at least 4.5 cups. The first thing we're going to do is sift our flour. Now, making biscuits is all about technique and really good ingredients, so I'm going to position the camera in a minute so you can see everything. Okay, the first thing you'll need to do is sift your flour. Now, the reason you sift your flour is to make it a little lighter, and also, I guess, to get rid of some of the larger lumps. So you want to always make sure you sift your flour. Now I'm going to reserve a little bit of the flour in the sifter. And I've got a piece of wax paper, and this is where I'm going to cut out the biscuits. So I'm just going to sift a whole bunch there. And just the rest of it, go ahead and sift it back into the bowl. Okay. Move this on so you can see. Now, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take out some of the lard. And I really don't have a measurement on this, you just need to scoop some out. About like that, and I would say that's a good 1/3 cup. Put that in your flour, and while your hands have still got all the grease on them, you want to grease your pan. And really grease it really thoroughly. Now, lard makes just great biscuits. It also makes great pie crust. And I know that they say that it's not healthy for you, but I figure once in a while we can have biscuits with lard in them, okay? So now, remember my lard is in with my flour, and I'm going to use my hands, and I'm going to squish it all up in there, and just get it as thoroughly mixed in as you can do. And it'll end up, you know, with little lumps of lard, maybe the size of a small pea. Because once you add the wet ingredient, which will be the whole buttermilk, now fat-free doesn't work very well for biscuits, at least not southern biscuits. Okay, just keep mixing it up. Once we add the liquid, we're going to mix it up just as fast as we can then. And when you first start making biscuits, don't worry so much about what they look like, okay? Worry more about what they're going to taste like. Because if they taste good, then people are going to like them regardless if they're pretty or ugly. Okay, see what it looks like now? Now we're ready to add in the buttermilk. Now, I've poured out 2 cups of buttermilk, and I've let it sit out here for a little while on the counter so it's not quite so cold. Some people actually pop it in the microwave, not to get it warm, but just take the chill off of it. Now, I've also preheated my oven to 450 degrees. Alright, we're ready to put this buttermilk in now, so I'm just going to dump a whole bunch in right to start with and be mixing it all around. Now, I know from experience it's probably going to take at least 1.5 cups, maybe a little more of the buttermilk. Now, you can tell if the mixing is going well really by the texture. Alright, I added a little bit more. I'm mixing it all up. And don't worry about any lumps or anything like that. Just get it mixed up as fast as you can. Alright, that should about do it. I'm going to clean off my hands. Then I'm going to take a little more flour and just kind of sprinkle it over it, like that. Now I'm going to get it out of the bowl, dump it onto the wax paper. Get it off my hands again. Alright. I'll move this closer so you can see. Now I'm going to take it and just turn it over just a couple of times. It's going to be a real soft flour. Alright, that's all I'm going to do. Now I'm going to mash it out. You can just flip some of the flour back up on it from your wax paper and mashing it out to about a 1/2 inch for it to work. Alright, now it's time to wash your hands off, okay? Do that as fast as you can. And you need to wash your hands off so you'll be able to cut them out easier. I know it seems kind of messy, but you want good biscuits, this is the way you have to do it. Okay. Now I've got my hands clean. Now, I just took out this biscuit cutter to show you. This would make a really big biscuit. This is the size I make mine. And you can also cut the biscuits out with the top of a glass. You just get the size you want. You don't have to have a biscuit cutter. Now I'm going to put a little flour on the edge of my wax paper here. And I'm going to dip my little biscuit cutter in and I'm going to start cutting. Now as you cut, and if you're using a glass, just kind of turn it a little bit and then pick it up. You don't want to over mix your flour because that'll make a tough biscuit. And just position them on your cookie sheet. Each time I'm dipping my cutter back in the flour. Again, when you put the cutter down, just kind of give it a little twist. Okay, now this is going to make a whole pan full of biscuits. And again, don't worry too much about what they look like. See if I can get more on there. Maybe 4 rows. Yeah, I believe I can. 4 rows. Alright, now see this that's left? Go ahead and use it because I really just don't want to waste it. So just pile it all up together. Put a little extra flour on it. And just kind of roll it over again. Mix it all up. Now these biscuits that are made from the last of the dough, where you cut out the original biscuits, are going to be a little heavier type biscuit because you've worked the flour more. So we're going to get 1, 2, 3 more biscuits. Now my husband likes this kind of biscuit. He wants his, I call them gummy biscuits, but that's the kind he really likes. So it doesn't hurt. And most people are very happy to get homemade biscuits. They don't care whether they're gummy or not. Now I'm not going to keep this. Now the cleanup is pretty simple when you do it on wax paper. Just ball up the wax paper and throw it out, and you only have a little bit of counter to wipe off. Now, here's what they look like. I'm going to bake them at 450 degrees for about 15 or 20 minutes, and I will show you what we do then. We'll be back. Okay, I've just taken the biscuits out of the oven. It was 15 minutes exactly. They just barely started turning brown. So what I'm going to do is I have melted about 3 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to take a paper towel kind of rolled up like that, and I'm going to just coat the tops of them. And then I'm going to put them back in the oven for probably about 3 minutes. Get them a little more brown on top. Now they're actually done now, but we want them a little more brown than this. And also what the butter does is it's going to keep them soft on the top, but the bottom will be crusty, which is exactly how I like them. Again, that's about 3 tablespoons probably of butter. Just coat them up good. And I use this because I just can't ever get a pastry brush clean, so if I just use a paper towel, I know I'm going to throw it away, and I can use a new paper towel next time I want to do the same thing, and I don't have to worry about it not being sanitary. All right, we're going to put these back in the oven for about probably 3 minutes, and we'll be back. Okay, my biscuits are done, golden brown, and here they are. Let me move that down. There you go. Now, they're really hot, and the butter on top of them makes them turn a really pretty color of like a golden brown. Now, once these get cool, this is what I freeze them in. This is an earthbound container, and I just stand them up in it. And I can get probably about 8 biscuits in here, and I freeze them. And of course we'll have some of those tonight for supper. But what you can do is after you freeze them, just take them out of the freezer, and you can pop them in the microwave. Maybe 15 seconds will do it. Or you can, put them in your little toaster oven. But again, there's just 2 of us, so this is a lot of biscuits. So we'll be having these for many meals. So anyway, there you have it, Southern Buttermilk Biscuits. I hope you'll try these, and remember, it's all about the ingredients and the technique. You must mix up the flour very quickly once you put the liquid in. All right, see you next time.